In our last episode, we fixed a leaky water maker and made another push farther north up Mexico's central coast. This time around, we see a little bit of why La Cruz is one of Mexico's cruiser hotspots and head out for a little adventure on someone else's boat. Morning, Brad.
How's it going?
What a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Want some help?
Sure.
La Cruz is one of those places on Mexico's central coast that's pretty easy to spend some time. Not only because of the big old marina and the facilities needed to take care of some weary cruising boats, it's because there's always something going on. This is the world-famous La Cruz market. Anything you want, they got here. And lots of stuff you don't. Every Sunday morning, lining the shores of that big old marina, local vendors come from all around the area, set up shop, and this place comes alive. From art and handicrafts to fresh baked goods and local fruits and vegetables in season, this place has got it all. And yes, those impossible to pass up little trinkets that'll weigh your overloaded boat down even more, they drive a hard bargain. Brad got some souvenirs!
A wood carving out of a knot.
But even with everything around here, we pretty much just had our sights set on the food. What'd you get?
Spinach, corn, and cheese. Empanada. Incredible.
Yeah. But even with all of the choices around, this little machine spit out the start of something that was impossible to pass up. Working together, this family created a culinary masterpiece that was a combination of sights and sounds and colors and flavors that I would go so far as to say was a work of art. And yes, if you're wondering, it had salsa so hot it would melt your face clean off. This is a machete, and it looks great! I am super excited for this. This may put me in the hospital.
Probably will put me in the hospital too. Oh my goodness. So good.
Look at you guys.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah. Amazing.
So good.
On a slightly healthier note, Brenda opted for the vegan falafel, which despite being void of any and all meat products, was amazingly delicious.
Oh really?
Oh, really good.
That's what Sonia comes from.
This is a cinnamon coffee pecan cinnamon roll. Oh man, this place has got everything. Want some, Jason?
Or I could just wait till they get to the middle.
Yeah. I need you to eat away the fluff.
I'm gonna just go for the middle.
Better not touch it.
Better than I expected it to be. It's really good. Did you want a bite?
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
So we're anchored here in La Cruz, and on a daily basis, every afternoon, the thermals kick up. It becomes pretty rowdy. It's not exactly what I'd call a calm, protected anchorage. This is what we got. So, every afternoon when the boat's bouncing around, you make sure your anchor's well set, you leave the boat behind, you head to town, and you have a little fun. Which generally for us means rounding up the troops and finding something good to eat. Today, Ceviche Festival. It's looking good.
Oh man, that's hot. That's spicy. Holy fuck.
Or sometimes, having a little fun means watching La Cruz's world-famous caballeros and dancing horses put on a little show. Good morning. Big day today. We're having an adventure, and we're doing it on somebody else's boat. Today we're getting out of this rolly anchorage and going to a different one. It's going to be pretty fun. We're heading to Jalapa, which is a cool town, and we're going on somebody else's boat. Bottoms up. And we're out of here. Hi.
Hey, morning.
It's our ride. It's going to be a fun day.
Awesome. Jalapa day.
Yip, yip.
Hike day. Hot, feels like.
Ours failed.
Morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
The village of Jalapa. It's a quick and easy couple-hour trip from the anchorage in La Cruz. And we'd be doing it on a pretty amazing boat with some pretty amazing folks. The little village of Jalapa is nestled into the mountains and jungle on the southern shores of Banderas Bay. And because this place has no roads in or out and is only accessible by either boat, horse, or donkey, it's still got an old world rustic charm. And since this bay is pretty deep and not a great place to drop your anchor, for about $10, a local fisherman will rent you a mooring buoy and even give you a ride into town. We made it!
Nice spot.
This place is awesome. With the team fully assembled, we were off into the jungle to find ourselves a waterfall. And to get to that waterfall, it's a pretty easy few miles of a meandering hike that'll take you past the local parking garage, into some interesting neighborhoods, up into the mountains, and past some incredible scenery. But first you just gotta find the trailhead.
we're on the right track. Whew! It's a little worried, but we're on the right track. Traffic. This place is awesome. Come see it. This area here, it really seems like you step back in time like 100 years. It's pretty awesome. Only transportation, there's no roads, so the only transportation is either horse, donkey, or an occasional ATV, motorcycle, or your feetsies. But since there's so many horses around, there's a lot of turds everywhere. Whew, you gotta watch your step. Number one rule in Mexico is watch your step.
And after a couple of hours and a few miles of meandering twists and turns, we made it here.
We made it! It's a miracle! This water's really warm.
And after a not so refreshing swim in an amazingly warm waterfall and a few miles of meandering hiking out, of course, we had to celebrate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Done.
Yeah.
Nice job. We made it.
I saw the fact you said that.
Passion fruit.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. Delicioso.
With our waterfall hike and a little celebration in the books, it was time to get out of there. We had just enough time left in the day for a pretty amazing sunset sail back to the anchorage in La Cruz. I hate to say it, but I should be the first to admit it, that after seeing a push-button winch and a furling in-boom mainsail, I've got a serious case of boat envy.
How come you don't work on our boat? How come I have to do all the work?
Here it goes. Gotta get this race underway.
What's Jason doing? How come you didn't ask Jason for help?
Or rail meat on the wrong side.
Well, that was a pretty fun day. Thanks for taking us to Jalapa, Mike and Angie. That was awesome. And for those of you at home who like sailing blogs, Mike and Angie have a great one. svmadrone.com. I'll put a link down in the description down there. Check it out. Great folks. Awesome boat. And now I've got boat envy. Thanks a lot, guys. Push button sailing's great. But that's almost about it for us here in La Cruz, because we're having an inland adventure. So we're going to store the boat for about 8 days, something like that. Go up into the mountains in central Mexico. Check out some cool towns. Kind of excited about it. So we're going to leave here this morning, head into the marina, and scrub this boat because it's disgusting. It needs a serious bath. That's it. We're out. Thanks again for the great trip. And so, we left the lumpy, bumpy, bouncy anchorage of La Cruz behind, pulled our little floating home into the marina, and then quickly began to do something this boat's needed for a long, long time. But that's about it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Join us next time as we leave our boat behind and head inland to Mexico's Central Highlands.